Hello, Kush. Could you please give an introduction about yourself?
Yeah. My name's Khushpreet. I'm a 21-year-old college student and entrepreneur based in New York, and I'm currently juggling my studies with my passion for AI.
Mhm.
And I'm actively building a bunch of AI solutions for multi-industrial solutions like chatbots, voice dialers, all that stuff. And I'm currently just living. I'm excited. I'm a student of the real world. Been here for a good year, but
Mhm.
consistently for a few months now. Been 4 months.
A very cool introduction. So let's get into. You said you have a passion for AI. When did that passion develop? Was it something long term? Was it only after you joined the real world?
This was a long time. It's been since I was like a little kid, and I've always wanted to be a hacker of some kind. And I feel like because of the movies I used to watch, the TV shows, just anything on a computer would excite me. And I used to get computers for my birthdays, like a bunch of them from different family members, like two, three computers at a time. That's how obsessed I was.
Mhm.
And yeah, but recently it started to accelerate, I guess you could say, because of the real world and the opportunities that I've seen with the professors and all that.
Okay. Were you actually building your own computers then with the parts you got, or did you have computers laying around because they just kept
Just
getting
computers laying around. Chromebooks,
nice?
Dell laptops, HP, all that stuff.
Well, I used to get Yu-Gi-Oh cards for my birthday when I was like 5, but I guess you got laptops.
I used to collect Pokemon cards too. I don't know if they're similar or not, but
Oh, damn. Yeah,
I used to collect
pretty
some
similar.
sort of cards.
Cool. All right. That was side topic. So getting into the real world. And when you got into AI as well, what AI did you start with? Was it something like ChatGPT or did you get straight into automation?
Straight into automation. So the first week, actually, without even knowing how to build the chat bots or the voice dialers, I just started emailing a bunch of my leads. So I was like, I could do this for you. I know how to do this. But at the time, I didn't know how to do anything. I just knew that I was good at closing calls. So I was like, okay, if I just get them on a call, I'll close them. But it took me about a week to learn everything. I was self taught. I learned a lot from the real world, but most of it was from my own research. And I ended up creating something really valuable for restaurants specifically. But I started with chatbots first, and then I took my time into voice dialers.
That was some very good confidence I heard of I knew I was good at closing and I'd be able to close them if I got them on a call. Where does that confidence come from? Is it just self-belief or was it backed up because of stuff you done before?
I think it's a little bit of everything. I actually give a lot of credit to my mom because we grew up in a way that it was always like a very patriarchal system, right? So it was always like the men, men, men. But she was like one of the first females in the family to do something of her own. So it's like that confidence was just in my blood, I guess you could say. And then a bunch of it comes from self belief, like you said. And my conversion rate is pretty high, so because of that as well.
So you've backed it up. All right.
Yeah.
But very cool.
Just in the past 3 months, not 3 months, 2 months actually, I've had about 32 calls. I closed 14 of them. So I guess you could say it's a pretty good rate.
Indeed, people usually get probably 10% at best. Like you
Yeah.
could probably say 10% is good rate, but that's over 10%. It's too late for me to do math, but very nice.
Yeah.
All right. Then interesting approach you took as well, because I remember when I was learning from the real world myself and starting out, that's what they actually used to say. I started with copywriting and they say you outreaching is a skill, but so is copywriting. So you don't just wait until you're good at copywriting in order to outreach. You need to be doing both simultaneously. So it's
Exactly.
best to actually start outreaching first, and then once you land the clients, then make sure that you'll be able to deliver, but focus the time for both. And in this case,
Exactly.
basically what you've done, you outreach, then you landed the clients. How soon did you actually land your first client after having
In one
outreached?
week.
So first
One
week,
week.
and then that's when you learn AI automation as well in that first week.
Yep. So as I was sending emails, that was all automated. I was also learning how to
Hmm.
do this AI stuff. I was texting in the chats and all that. But it took me, I guess, 4 days to learn everything, and then 3 days to just like kind of like understand what the clients want and do market research on them. But one week.
Okay, amazing. And when you say AI automated email outreach, for people who don't understand how that works, could you please explain?
Yeah. So basically, you get a bunch of leads. I usually use LinkedIn, and you get those leads. You extract them through another software called Phantom Buster, and then you go on Make.com, which is a no-code platform, which is very simple to use, very easy, very user-friendly. and you basically create different scenarios. You use ChatGPT as well, so you tell ChatGPT, "Hey, I want you to write an email that's personalized, and I want you to send it out to a bunch of these leads. Use their company name as variables, use their first name, last name as variables, all that, just to make it personalized, and send mass outreach through Instantly, which is an email campaign user
Mhm.
interface, sort of. So it's basically four different steps, and you'll be able to send. I'm currently sending 8,000 emails a day. You'll be yeah, it's crazy.
Oh
The
wow.
more emails, the better, right? So I
Yeah.
bought a bunch of domains, and then because of the make.com scenario that I ran, I was able to send all these emails in that first week. Well, the first week was like about 500, 600 emails because I was pretty new to it. But as you grow, you get more emails and all that stuff. But yeah, it's pretty simple. You get the leads from LinkedIn, you extract them from Phantom Buster, you make your scenarios, and you just launch your campaigns.
Awesome. And is it something like in copywriting where you need to warm up the email, or is that not required in this case?
I didn't know in the beginning I had to warm up my email. I just started sending them. I was so excited. I was like, you know what? Warm up 2 weeks, 3 weeks. That's just too much time. I need a client now. Just start sending.
And it actually worked because in your first week, as you said, you were a client.
Yeah, and I had like a 60% bounce rate on my emails. It was terrible.
But
I
it
guess I
got
was lucky
through.
this
That's
time.
all that matters.
Yeah.
All right. And at the time, during that first week, what did you actually offer the first client that you landed? Did you get on a sales call with them? I'm presuming you did because you said you're good at sales calls. What did you actually offer them as a service, and how much did you charge?
Yeah, I offered them AI chatbots. Like I said, I was working with a realtor. So lead generation basically and appointment setting. I did not know that appointment setting was a thing. I knew it was a thing because of the real world, but I didn't know that I could integrate it within their systems. So I told them, I was like, look, I'll increase your lead generation by 30% in the first 30 days, and you'll be a customer for life. I spoke with so much conviction, and I ended up giving them the results that I promised. But in the beginning, I was just totally clueless. So it was lead generation, appointment setting, integrating it with WhatsApp and all of that stuff.
Mhm.
And they loved it. So my first niche was realtors, real estate, particularly commercials.
Those have pretty good money, from what I know.
Yeah.
As in, pretty good to get into. Um, did you do the same type of lead generation that you set up for yourself to those realtors? Is that what you offer them, or a different kind of lead generation?
So basically, any user that would come on their website and
Mm.
ask for any type of inquiry, right? Say they want to know what's the nearest listing. The chat bot was able to make like a dynamic carousel and show the listings in their area. So it was much easier for them to connect with their website and understand what they wanted without having to go the extra mile and figure out, okay, now I have to call this realtor, I have to give them my information, and I have to figure out which listing is available and which is not. Just as an example. So this cut so much time on their end, and the communication was super streamlined. Like I said, we integrated WhatsApp as well. So if they made an inquiry on the website, they would get a ping on WhatsApp. Like someone is on your website, they're making an inquiry, they're interested in this house, you can talk to them now. Like they connect the user to the realtor. So it was super easy for them. And they ended up, I think in the second week, they ended up getting four more clients that they ended up closing. So it was a great week for them as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And again, this is like in 1 to 2 week time span after getting into it. You're already doing all this.
Mhm.
How did that continue to scale for you? So with landing new clients, and what services did you offer them? Was it continuing
Yeah.
with
So
realtors, or did you go into something else?
I didn't answer your previous question. I charged them 2,500 in the beginning, by the way.
Okay, cool, cool.
2,500, right? That was the deal. So I worked with two realtors my first month. I made my first 5,000, and I was like, okay, I have to scale this immediately. I started reaching out to more realtors, but they were just not interested. So 2 weeks went by, no closed deals, and I was like, okay, it's time to niche shop basically. Then I started working with two insurance agents. That didn't go as planned either. They were like more so on the emotional aspect, right? They were more like, I need the results ASAP or give me my money back. They didn't have patience. They wanted the results within 3 4 days, which was not possible. I worked with them as much as I could, but I decided like that's not the right move. And then I stepped into restaurants, which I'm currently working with right now, and that's the gold mine for me. I'm
So,
charging each restaurant $6,000 a pop, and from there, that's how I was able to hit my current monthly goal.
so just to add to what you said previously, You're optimistic, but not optimistic enough to offer results in 3 4 days, which completely makes sense.
Yeah, like it takes like 2 3 days just to create the chatbots for the whatever niche you're
Yep,
working
yep,
with,
yep.
right? Like you can't just hop on a sales call and be like, "Hey, I want results now," or I'm kicking you out. That's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
not how
yeah.
it works.
Indeed. Okay, so you moved on to better things because you're saying you're able to charge 6K now per client.
Yeah.
But I do want to go back to when you said 2.5K for the realtor. How did you feel actually telling your first client to pay you 2.5K for the services you're going to offer them, which you had just learned?
Yeah, like I said in the beginning, I speak with a lot of conviction. So I spoke to them like, "Hey, this is $2,500. If you're not comfortable with it, that's totally fine. I have other clients waiting." So I speak as if I already had clients backed up when I didn't. I was desperately wanting this $2,500 so I could show my parents. I was like, "Look, I just made $2,500." But yeah, I just spoke to them like I already had clients lined up waiting to use my services. Even in my emails, I send out like a, I don't know if this is too much sauce, but I send out like, "Hey, I've been too busy with client work. If I forget to respond to someone, right, I'll say, "Hey, I've been super packed. Towards the end of the year, people want to strategize their businesses," and they'll be like, "Oh, no problem, no worries," and then they book. It's great.
And now, because you said that, suddenly people are people will be getting tens of thousands of emails all saying, "Ah, sorry, I've been super busy with other clients doing other work. Let me get back to you in a bit." But
I
yeah,
mean, it works.
yeah.
It works.
All right. Then moving on to restaurants. Why are you able to charge 6K to restaurants? What do you do for them?
So I also have some previous background in restaurants. My parents have owned restaurants for their entire lives. So main reason why I was able to charge 6K is not because of the services I'm offering, it's because I know the pain points really well. I understand the ins and outs of the business, running it, the difficulties and all that stuff. And when it comes to the AI that I'm charging or I'm offering, it's AI voice dialers, but also lead generation, as well as email marketing and SMS campaigns. So it's basically a whole package because I was in the copywriting campus before. I've had a few clients there as well. But I felt like mixing all of this for a restaurant would work really well. We're opening a restaurant as well by my house here in New York, and I'm thinking of including all these services for our own restaurant as well.
Mhm. Very cool. Um,
Yeah,
Definitely helps that they can relate to you when you say that you've been in the business yourself.
yeah,
So just to clarify for anyone listening, don't expect the same results just because they'll be doing the same thing as you because you have different experiences,
yeah,
different perspectives on things. So they need to find things which fit the things they've done, and then
exactly.
they'll be able to relate to the person they're trying to land as a client accordingly, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. All right, then voice dialers. You've mentioned that a few times now. Explain some more about how good is the actual technology currently for AI voice dialing.
It's super good. It's life changing. I mean, I was able to go from 2,500 to 6,000, right, per deal. So basically, these voice dialers, I use Vappy mostly, but I've heard a lot of great things about Air AI and Bland AI. But I use Vappy, and with that, I'm able to integrate it within a bunch of reservation systems. So if you go on a regular restaurant's website, you'll see that they're integrated with OpenTable for their reservation systems or Seven Rooms, softwares like that. And because of their API and Vappy's API, I'm able to connect those two, and it's a much easier and more streamlined process for the customers to come in, reserve their tables, edit their reservations, call for takeout orders, and one of the main reasons why I'm able to sell these services so much is because holidays are right around the corner. And a question I usually like to ask any client that I'm talking to is, can your restaurant support 200 calls right now? Because realistically, if we're speaking, they get about 55 calls per day, right? And this was a study made by the NRA, the National Restaurant Association. 55 calls per day. And during the holiday season, it just spikes. So I asked them, if can your restaurant support 200 calls per day? Most of the times they say no, and that's when I tell them, hey, look, my voice dialer can take up to 10,000 calls at the same time simultaneously. And if they end up saying, yeah, we can take the 200 calls, I ask them, okay, well, what guarantee do you have that your employee is going to pick up the 200th call with the same energy, same enthusiasm as the first call? What guarantee do you have that they'll pick up all 200 calls, right? And then that's when they stumble upon the question. So basically, the voice dialer just leaves out all room for human error, and it treats the restaurant as if it's its own, right? So employees only work for how much money they're making. They only work as if they're making $16, $17 an hour, they don't treat the restaurant as its own. And this was a problem that I faced with my family in our restaurants. So implementing this was absolutely incredible. One of the restaurants I'm working with, they have 7 locations. They're on track to not making, saving $100,000 this year, Canadian, and they've added $60,000 in new revenue just the past 2 months that I've been working with them.
Crazy. So in that way, completely makes sense why you can charge what you charge to those
Oh yeah,
restaurants, because it's a
absolutely.
no-brainer for them.
Right. And I only
Mm,
work with restaurants with more than 3, 4 chains because then I
mm,
know they'll be comfortable with the amount I'm charging.
mhm.
And I know this stuff actually works. Like I have a bunch of testimonials from my
Exactly.
clients. So yeah.
Exactly. Uh, and yeah, you're giving away quite a bit of sauce there, Kush. So
Yeah.
you better appreciate it and implement. All right. Then what do your parents think about what you're doing?
Oh, they love it. They absolutely love it. They're like, once we open our restaurant, I want you to focus on it 100% so we could take our restaurant to 3, 4 locations.
Mhm.
I was like, well, I'm going to charge you. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. But yeah, I'm excited. I
Mhm,
feel like AI has changed my life completely.
mhm. And you said you're balancing it with college and you're doing computer science. What's the how would I say? What is the process there to actually juggle everything? Because you seem to be landing quite a lot of clients. Maybe I'll ask that first then. How much are you actually making currently from the AI automation that you're doing?
Currently, last month I hit 27K in October.
As a 21-year-old still in college.
Yep,
Pretty insane.
it is insane.
Yep. And proceeding then, what are you doing for college then? Has it affected your work there? Are you still planning on completing it? Has your perspective on the world changed at all because of what you've been doing? Just yeah, anything that comes to mind on that.
I'm going to be very honest. And if my mom's watching, I still love you. But growing up, a college degree was everything. And it's very common in traditional and cultural families, right? And I come from an Indian background. So a college degree is looked at as if it's everything. And I knew since I graduated high school, I was like, okay, I need to start something and I need to start making money. It did take 4 years, but something did end up working. But it took 4 years. I tried drop shipping, I tried copywriting, I tried freelancing, I tried a bunch of stuff. But then I realized, okay, school is going to get in the way. I tried copywriting a year ago and I had finals. I had to drop my clients just to focus on my
Mm,
finals, just study on it. It was super painful, but I had to. And during that moment, I realized, okay, I need to find a better way to juggle this, right? I don't want to drop out, and I am not going to drop out. I have 6 months left of school, and then I'll graduate, give my parents what they want, and then I'll be able to, focus my time entirely on this and scale my agency. But yeah, the plan is to graduate, 6 months left, and I don't think I will be working with that degree because with the momentum I have right now, I feel like I'm going to scale to $100,000 months very, very soon.
mhm.
So I don't think I will need the degree, but just to keep the parents happy, just to have that degree, it's for societal expectations. I'm just doing it for that.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Because yeah, parents are important. So as long
yeah.
as you can do both, makes sense.
It is difficult because, like I said, this is the last year, and I'm a computer science major and a statistics major. I forgot to mention.
Mhm.
It's a lot of math. So like one problem takes an hour and a half to complete because you have so much math to check over,
Mhm.
and it's hectic. And then on the same side, your phone is buzzing because there's clients texting you, and then you have sales calls and all that stuff. But I'm getting it done.
Cool. So
Yeah.
I guess I'll give a bit of law from my end. I dropped out with 6 months left of university. Was in a similar position
Ooh.
to you, where I had
Uh-huh.
joined the real world, and then I just decided I'd wanted to build something of my own for many years before, but I was going
Mhm.
for university as a backup plan until I got an idea for what to do. And when I found the
Right.
real world, that's when I realized, this is what I was looking for, and this is one of what I want to go all in on. So in my case, I was also with 6 months left to university. All I had left was my thesis, and I decided
Right.
I don't want to waste my time on this anymore. And I don't
Hmm.
want to give myself a backup plan either. Like just in case, have it in the back of my mind. Well, just in case this fails, I can default to the degree because I was doing a AI and robotics degree, so basically computer science as well. I
Right.
thought I didn't want to have anything to default back to, so I just dropped out. But I knew my mom would understand. But in your case, Indian parents, different, probably different. And
Yeah, it is different.
I won't say too much because, yeah, you respect your parents and completely agree with that. But I guess it was just a different case in my case with the parents, so I was able to do so.
Right,
Anyway,
right.
random ramble. Continuing. Um, how do you plan to scale to 100K? Is it just continuing with restaurants, or do you have another plan?
With restaurants, I think this niche is the gold mine, like I said, and I have a lot of experience with it, so I'm comfortable with it. But I'm also comfortable with looking at other industries. If I see there's another niche that's popping off, why not? But for now, AI is working really, really well for restaurants.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. And
Um,
to scale, I'm currently going to start my own personal brand and hopefully get clients from that end. I'm also going to maybe
wait, I
hire
have to
an
stop you there. What do you mean, hopefully? You will get clients from there.
what was that?
Remove the hopefully. You will get clients from there.
I will get clients from that.
Yep,
You're right.
continue.
You're right. This is actually something I'm working on. This hopefully, maybe, if, what if, I'm working on it. You know,
Yep,
there's
yep,
always some sort of doubt in my mind.
yep. Continue.
Yeah. Um,
Personal brand. You were saying creating
personal
personal
brand. Yeah.
brand. Was there anything else to add?
Personal brand. I'm currently trying to hire an employee or two because there's a lot of workload on my end. But I feel like I should do that once I hit that 50K, 60K a month. But for now, personal brand, just get more clients and with the outreach system I have in place.
Mhm. When you say employee, what would you outsource to that employee? Since it's technically quite specialized work.
Just make all the AI. I
Hmm.
would teach the person I hire how to create the AI systems that I create so I could focus more on just closing deals, right? Because
Okay.
right now, closing deals and not having the capacity to handle all of that at the same time is difficult. And I feel like that's what's stopping me at the moment.
Yeah, definitely a limiting factor. Makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay, then how different is your average day now with everything you're doing compared to before you joined the real world? Has it actually not changed that much because of college, or have there been changes?
I I would say it has changed in the sense that it's more hectic now. Like I said, I have to juggle college and work at the same time. But when it was just college, it was okay. Go to class, come home, eat, go to the gym, and repeat. But now I have college, I have work to do, I have meetings to hop on. I barely have time to eat throughout the day. That's how busy it gets sometimes.
Mhm.
But yeah, it definitely got much more hectic than before.
Yep. And what lessons have you learned from juggling everything and actually being that busy? Have there been any
Being
insights?
patient and having speed with everything I do. Being patient is something I still struggle with because I would love to do this full time, but I just can't, right? And you know the reasons why, but
Mhm.
being patient and understanding that God has a plan. Everything that happens for a reason, and speed is probably one of the biggest tenets. It's actually taught in the real world as well. If you're not fast, there's something that I like to say actually. The faster you realize that you're not working fast enough, it's something like this. Shit, I forgot. Hold on. We could cut this part out. 1 second. 1 second.
But it's not a
The
problem.
faster.
It doesn't matter if you stumble a bit. Yeah,
No, I
feel free.
forgot this. It was a really good quote from a book. It was like the faster you realize the faster you
ChatGPT.
work, okay, I got it. The faster you work, the quicker you realize you're slow. Got it.
Wait,
Continue. Ready?
so yeah, resume. Go.
Okay. So there's this quote that I like to refer to. It's the quicker you work, the faster you realize that you're actually slow. So keeping that in mind, the quicker I work, I realize, okay, I'm not doing as much as I could be doing. And maybe this is the reason why I stay up till like 3, 4 a.m. But I realize there's so much more to be done than compared to what I'm already doing. So it's like I do things at a very quick speed, and then I
Mhm,
just tell myself that I'm still slow at the end of the day. So the next day I just work as hard as I possibly can.
mhm. And are you saying that mindset is purely because of how your mother is, or were there other factors to that?
um, I wouldn't say it's because of my mom. I think it's something that I've self embedded in myself because I feel like I have a lot of potential and I'm very young. And sometimes I think the amount of work I'm doing could be amplified, right? Every time I say I'm taking 4 or 5 calls per day, I feel like I could insert 2, 3 more calls. I can create more for my clients. I can do much more, right? And because of that, I feel like that's where my confidence comes from as well. Because I just in myself, it's an innate feeling that I could just do whatever I want as fast as I possibly can, just so I could get more tasks out of the way.
Hmm. And you're saying that's just something you've developed over time, then? That
Yeah,
kind of
over
mindset.
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Then we covered it briefly, but I wonder if there's anything to add there for future plans. You kind of said short term in 6 months, but what's beyond that? So more medium term, long term. Do you have any other plans?
Just scaled my agency for now and launch my personal brand and help as many people as I can from that, get clients, and just scale as much as I can. That's the end goal. Scale to 100K a month, possibly more in the next year or so. But up until
Possibly.
I
Excuse
finish,
me.
what was that?
You said possibly. Please
Oh my
rephrase.
god, I said it again. I said it again. But yeah, I will scale my agency better. And until I complete my college degree, the goal is to hit at least 100K a month.
Mhm.
Just so I could tell my parents, look, I'm making a
Yeah.
very good amount of money and I don't need this degree. You can keep it, you can hang it up on the wall, but I'm going to be scaling my agency and hopefully, do something much more lucrative afterwards.
Yeah. So basically, hey parents, see how people earn this wage in a year if they're doing well. Well, I just did it in a month. It's not
Yeah,
that
I just did
much.
it.
It'll get more, but for now, here just to show you that this works. Here's 100K a month.
Right,
Yep.
right.
Yep. Okay.
And I believe in myself. I really think I can do it.
Well,
And
hundred
6 months
percent.
is,
The question
yeah,
is, can you get to 1 million a month?
soon. Very,
Yeah.
very soon.
There you go. Soon, indeed.
Soon.
All right.
Not possibly soon. I will get there.
Yeah, 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 yeah. All right. Good.
Yeah.
So I think we can wrap up then with a final question. So for people who are unsure about joining the real world, because they're thinking, you know what, these $50, maybe I'll get scammed. What advice do you have to people who think that?
You won't get scammed. If anything, I should be the one that feels like she's gonna get scammed because they're known to be misogynists. But as soon as I joined the real world, the community was super welcoming, right? Everyone is there, available for your questions, giving you answers all the time, and the lessons you learn are actually valuable. So $50 a month is nothing. That's like two McDonald meals. You can definitely, definitely afford it. Just think as if you're putting $50 in, and in a week, just like me, you'll be able to get $2,500 back. That's how insanely fast the results come back with the real world. And my advice would be to get started ASAP. Don't wait for the right time because the right time will never come if you keep waiting, right? So again, with speed, do everything as fast as you can, get started, and you'll be making money just like I am.
Very well said. And for your personal brand, I will add links to the description of the video once they launch. So anyone who's interested can check that out. And
Right.
yeah, Kush, thank you for coming on and sharing your experience. Been
Yeah, it was my
amazing.
pleasure. Thank you for having me.
21 years old, making 27K a month while juggling college, having exams and everything. So already,
Yep.
as you said, that's the limiter. So without it, man, you for sure would hit 100K. Anyway, been an amazing story. Been amazing to hear the work ethic you have, mindset, outlook on everything. And let's do a follow up maybe once college is complete. That will be a good timeline.
Yeah, in 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
do
I'll
a
hit
follow
my
up then.
100K a month and then the story will be much different from what it is now.
Yep, yep. And I look forward to that. So until then, I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Same here.